I think I hit everyone in a decade.
Yes.
Got 7 pounds of food in my teeth here. These braces. You see what happens here? I say that. I only caught 3 people. Everybody went.
I was still chewing, so.
Even without braces, you had food in your teeth.
All right, so we are packed starting the new year, and I appreciate you taking the time today. Let me kick off the new year, but we agreed at the leadership offsite, excuse me, that I had some extra stuff that I couldn't get in that day that might be useful for 2020. Specifically, what are the stars and the non-stars and the folks out on the sales floor saying that they need and want from you. But before we get there, I want to go back and recap a couple of things. Very quickly, what engaged is not, all right? Just a high point review of some other things to keep fresh in your mind, because batting practice, right? Repetition is the key in winning here. What's always want and need, and then some 2020 rants. And these are in no way, shape, or form in order, but they're things that as I sit around and I think about 2020 and building out our teams, what do we need to be aware of? What do we need to concentrate on? What do we need to do? And these are the things that I want to bring forward for you, okay? So, engaged management. Easier to define what it is versus what it's not. Excuse me. Easier to define what it's not versus what it is. Have you seen this before? A lot of folks walk around and they go, I'm engaged because I have an open door policy. And here's what it looks like to the sellers. Your door is fully closed. That means do not disturb. Even more so if your door is fully closed and the blinds are shut. Do not disturb. But still, what do you see?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
That's right.
Guilty.
Exactly.
Proceed with caution. Door's cracked. Okay, I'm just in here for a few minutes, right? Likely you're going to see the rear end of the manager bending over in drawers. I'm just here for a few minutes, right? You're interrupting. Door is slightly ajar, but not half open, but not wide open.
That sounds like
The manager wants you to know I'm here,
but I'm busy.
but I'm not available.
Not
Why didn't you come see me? I was in my office all day.
Oh my God.
Right?
This is amazing.
So guilty
Yeah.
on all levels, right? Today, for example,
Oh.
because we have all those, what do they call it? The review stuff that we got to get out.
Yes.
I'm going to have my door shut with my blinds down. I know a lot of people, so when you catch up, will go, hey, what are you into? But they're doing it by,
Yeah, sure.
okay, that's not engaged management. And this is really how management works. It starts at the top, it all funnels down to hell, doesn't it? Depending on where you are in the chart, depends on how clean you remain in your career.
Oh.
That's not snowfall.
All the way down. And this is on many different levels regardless of where you go in your career, right? Because when I leave this building, certainly Vince is up here, and then we got Diane here, and so when you're a seller at the bottom, we need to keep that under consideration because that's sometimes how they feel, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to you while you're engaging to maintain a heart of service, which we discussed. If you don't possess a heart of service, we can't give it to you. We can't grow you into that. You have to, somewhere in your DNA, have the care, the availability to understand that you're in this business to serve. And you have to take pleasure from that. And if you don't, then you're in the wrong business. That goes for everybody in this room. That goes for everybody on the sales floor. That goes for everyone conveying to our passionate viewers from the newsroom. It goes for everybody here. This is a business heart of service. And sometimes we forget that when we're under the pressure of numbers. When we're under the pressure of, oh my gosh, we went from green to red on pacing. When we're under the pressure of, what was our share? Heart of service. And it's tough to do, right? Because of all the model hats. But it's imperative that you do it because, again, folks quit their jobs, they lead managers, they don't lead companies. Now, to be fair, sometimes those folks should be. Right? Most engaged sales managers, quickly by review. This is very important. I have to get you conditioned to know the numbers. This is going to be even more important as we get into Jim Doyle and Associates training. I have been very slight with my revealing of a lot of that training because number one, we're employing somebody else to do it. Number two, I promised I would. Number three, we aren't ready for it yet. So you're going to see the steps begin to unfold, and we're going to begin to build on those steps. And a lot of the things that I'm talking about and saying to you are going to come true, and then it'll come to fruition, and the light bulbs start to hit. But it all starts with a fundamental understanding of knowing the numbers. As managers in this room, you have to know the numbers. What is your churn or your churn in progress, your chip? I remember the very first day that we met in the big conference room, I said to you, if we're going to churn $800,000 at the end of the year, how much do we have to write to make that up? An unprofessional, unknowing, typical AE may say something like $800,000. Not taking into account additional churn, not taking into account new business prospecting, not taking into account all the things that could affect that $800,000. So we have to add $1 million, 1.4, 1.5 million to make up the 800,000, right? In order to understand that, we need to know diagnosis calls, what we're going to call timeouts. Diagnosis calls lead to new business presentations. What is that percentage? So when we're out there and we're pitching, we have a diagnosis call with a client, we're going back and we're presenting, and somebody says yes. What percentage of that leads to new business? What's your team's closing percentage? If the team has a low closing percentage, one, is the number accurate? Are they reporting accurately? Or are they just giving you a number to show activity? But two, if they do have a low closing percentage, why? What are we not doing appropriately? The minimum monthly investment. I stand on platforms to reinforce this. We consistently in this business, not just this station, but this business period, do not ask for the minimum because we're afraid we aren't going to get the dollars that we're currently getting or the dollars that are on the table, right? And we established that the number that the client is telling you has zero to do with the number they're willing to give you. Just like you're going out to buy that new car, you're going to tell the salesperson, I have $300 when you really have $500 a month in the back pocket, right? Average monthly order, average monthly new business order. So if we know that it takes $15,000 to be successful with our products and services, and we're closing an average monthly order of $10,000, chances are, and I won't repeat the story as I told you about the AE in Cleveland, chances are we're going to have churn because we're accepting levels of dollars that will not work based upon the reality of knowing that $15,000 is the minimum threshold, right?
Absolutely.
So then you may get stuck into a quagmire with AEs who are going, well, no, wait a minute. You know, you're pushing me for business. I got $7,000 here. I know you want $18,000. How can I get the $18,000? That's something that's going to take time to work with and help them understand confidently how to ask for items. And we're going to walk through how to remove those speed bumps over time. Again, it's all about the ask. If we have 100 new presentations, we're closing at 22% at a 12,000 average, that's 264. $250,000, right? No more work, but we're asking for more. We're closing for more, almost 400,000. No more work. We're closing better. We're being better with our prospecting. We understand who we're delivering to. $18,000 average. Now we're up to $486,000, $500,000. These are it's not volume calls. Remember, we can make more and do more by doing less. And truly, I've seen that time after time after time after time. We can drop the volume of calls, assuming we're asking for the level that we should be asking for, and asking and combining things, which we talk about in 2020 grants, in order to get the dollars we need to get to help them be successful and us be successful. Know your numbers. I've heard this a couple times already. Again, I'm not taking credit for this. You'll see Jim Stews at this point, at some point this year. Jim is coming in last week in March, is that right?
We have not finalized that yet, but that's what it's looking like, or the first week of April.
Same as last year. Especially we're getting to 2020 now and annuals are popping and coming in. We have to send the message. We appreciate it, but would you be happy making the same dollars 5 years from now as you're making today? Probably not. And the only way to get there is to do what? Sell more. And the opportunity to sell more is with the lowest hanging fruit. The folks who already believe in you, who are already investing in our products and services, who are buying the AE before they're buying the stations and our digital and our products, right? That's the low hanging fruit. They have confidence in us, so why not go back to them for more dollars? We're going back for the sake of going back for more dollars, to up them. We're going back to make better results. And the way you get better results is big money, big results. Little money, no results, right? The first step in no salaries and getting more money is very simply stop settling with, what is your radio budget? What is your TV budget? I don't care. I don't care why you gave $100,000 to magazines, $100,000 to TV, $100,000 to radio, $100,000 to billboards. I don't care how you write. I can't be held accountable for what your arbitrary thought was in assigning $100,000 each. What I want to know is how much are you spending total? Investing on and spending everywhere else. What are you doing total? Now I'm in play for that. Think what that does to the psyche again. Because if we understand total marketing budget, instead of going in and we're only competing for $100,000 of radio, now we're thinking $500,000. We're going to pitch for $400,000. At $100,000, maybe we're pitching for $60,000. I don't know. But if we can get conditioned to think in those terms, and this is at an agency level, this is at a TV level, this is at a radio level, it's at a decision maker level. If we can start to think in those terms, life suddenly changes and opens up. And it's a couple of clicks, couple of wins like this, and suddenly we've taken a B player may very quickly. That's the tone that has to come from this team. And if it's not going to come from your team, why not? Why not, right? Can't find good people. We're in a situation now where we're probably going to gear up 2 to 3 very quickly on the TV side. Very quickly, have to very quickly, right? We want to make sure they're the right hires. We want to make sure we're filling our bench on the radio side. We want to make sure on the digital side we just hired somebody. I will promise you this. There will be a point in time inside these walls when finding good people is not the issue. Trying to get through the resumes of the good people that are seeking us out because they've heard about the culture and what we're doing is the issue. Hustlers will go out and look for opportunities. We won't have to find them. That's what will happen. Okay? So what engagement do sellers want and need from you? Any questions on that quick review? That was a fast review.
Good.
No.
Good.
What do they want? More importantly, what do they need from you? I'm going to base this on 3 account executives, incredible sellers from around the country in my 8 years on the street traveling with Jim Doe and Associates. These folks at that point in time were probably the best account executives that you would ever encounter in the country. And I'll give you reasons for each as we go through it. Bill Murray, not to be confused with Bill Murray, is in Green Bay. Sue Layton, the drill sergeant she has on her business card. The media drill sergeant is what it says on her business card. I won't get ahead of myself there. You're gonna love Sue. Kyle Hayden. Kyle was so good they made her manager shortly after we did these videos. And the simple question was asked. You can read as well as I can. So you hear me all the time saying speed bumps. My question, my question in the summary would this be, how can we remove speed bumps? How can we best help you? What speed bumps can I get out of your way so that you can be the best that you can be?
Now, I'll preface this because I am getting it on my end. But what I need personally is I need to be left alone. Sometimes I need to be reeled in a little bit. Sometimes I need to be reminded of a few things, but ultimately I'm treated like an adult. I'm treated like someone that is going to passionately pursue my business and succeed in my business because my goals are going to be higher than their goals.
So this guy is a hard charger, hard flyer, right? Bill, in his first appointment with clients, a perfect example, he sat down with a chiropractor group, and he doesn't call on tiny stuff. He's that confident. Sat down with the chiropractor group, and the chiropractor said, what do you got? What do I got? Well, I think the intention of this meeting is misplaced here in the beginning. The reason I am here is to see if I want to take on your business today. Gutsy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's how he operates. He'll walk in and say, Mike, I'd just like to have a conversation with you here because I only handle so many people in the marketplace. You've heard of so-and-so, 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 right? Strength in numbers. You've heard of those. Those happen to be my clients, and I handle their advertising. I just want to see if I might have opportunity, if it fits, that I would like to take you on today. See how the leverage switches? Could everybody get away with that? No.
Oh,
Did he come into sales saying that? No.
no.
But that's how he operates. And because he operates like that, he is a true entrepreneur. He wants to be left alone. But sometimes by being left alone, those folks who are hard chargers are going to push the limits and they're going to go astray of what I call the bowling gutters, right? So we have to kind of check him on occasion. He even admitted, I realize I have to be reeled in. Because if you aren't gutsy enough as a manager to reel these folks in, you're sending a message to everybody else on the floor.
They can do
There are new rules. And then if the rules only apply to me, hey, what about Bill? You didn't get upset with, now we got a problem. We got cancer, right? So they recognize I'm a hard charger. I'm going to push the limits. And at lunch they're talking about, can you believe they let me get away with blah, blah, blah. So they know they need to be reeled in, right? Treat him like somebody who knows. And you probably want to treat him like somebody that they came up with the idea. You have to kind of work them around, help them understand that your idea was actually their idea. And this is true. I'm not going to say they're typically sandbaggers, but they're going to fight. You give them a $2 million budget, they're going to look at that and go, oh, you're killing me, you're killing me. In the back of their mind, they're thinking it was going to be 2.4. So they're going to fight you a little. And that's fine. If they didn't have me fight at them, I don't want them.
You want to see me run through a brick wall? You tell me that my family is just as important as this job. And wow, I'll pretty much do anything for you then. But you got to care about me and you got to care about what's important to me.
I didn't always live that. Again, I was the guy that we hit first place. We hit a big time deal, and I'm picking it up in New York, and I call the staff at the station, and I go, get the brooms out. We swept it again. Let's have the main goods, our in-house station band. Get them fired up for tomorrow. Get the catering in. We're going to have a party tomorrow to celebrate number one. As I've said to you before, halfway into the party, I gather the department heads. We go to the conference and we start breaking it out. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. You celebrate for a few minutes, and now we get after it again next year. I started to understand that there are other things in life, and part and parcel of that is family. I think just recently, what I say to you Friday, I'm talking with Javier on the phone, and I called him specifically because I saw him responding to an email, but I also saw that he was out of office, and I said, are you with your family right now? I don't want to talk to you with your family. I'm calling Glenn, and I'm scared to death. You couldn't see how I was dressed, but I was in a robe. And I just gotten out of the steam side, and I was getting ready to get them all waxed up. And I'm lying there on the couch talking to Glenn, and I heard someone in the background. I said, "What? Are you there with your family?" No. Let's hang up. I don't want to deal with that. Right? That's not how I want to come off. So as I encourage you guys to download, I know you're committed. You guys know what the job is. I know that you know it's there tomorrow. I go with the ACs. I'll walk around when they're putting all the orders in. It's like 8:30, 8:45 at night. And half dozen of them are still sitting there. I'm going, what the hell are you guys doing here? Don't you have air conditioning at your house? Go home. Go home, just as a tease, but I know there's work to do. So we'll get to it, but please understand when you're under duress and you're feeling pressured, listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying, because we don't know what's going on. Some people wear it very well, and they never clue you in that there's an issue. And then we're hurting, right? Sue, man. I run through a brick wall for you. My family is just as important, if not more important than work. Tell me you care about me. Tell me you care about me. When I had that choice before I left for Thanksgiving, and I could make a phone call with the 40 minutes I had left, or I could walk floor to floor and tell everyone how much I appreciated them as individuals. I chose the left because that's where I get my energy, right? And that's part of the revelation where I was deciding, wow, I'm changing internally. This is what I needed in my life. Marty, I was late for the meeting because I'm down there with Marty. And Marty said, I was thinking about you, and I'm so happy. Thank you for coming and saying hello. I did was say hello. Hey, it's 2020. Good to see your smile. And I said to him, well, I appreciate what you're feeling about me. Selfishly, I get a lift out of that, so that's why I do it. Let them know how important you are to me, right? I don't share the story about me about that. I'm just telling you my recent experiences about inside this building. That's what people want. And that's what they deserve, quite honestly. Sue Layton is hilarious. I may be stepping on our toes in her video later. Sue, when doing new business, will not call on anybody, will not take any business from anyone on another station in the market. Because they're tainted.
Bad habits.
Tainted.
That's interesting.
Wow.
And she says, when I take on your business, I'm your agency. And I get 100%, and here's how it's gonna play out. See the similarity between Bill and between Sue? The drill sergeant. So she will walk in, she has a very methodic process where she walks in and she will sit with the staff, let's say at a dental office, and listen to how they answer the phone. And listen to how they report the media as to why somebody called them. And she will instruct them and have a class for workers in the office to understand how to go about answering the phone and how to close folks for appointments. That's how deep she is. And that's why when she closes a new business, it's generally in Indianapolis, not less than $300,000 to $400,000 each pop. Does it come every week? No. But she's got wells and her pipeline's always full. And on a quarterly basis, she's pumping a couple like that.
I love at our TV station that we pay more for new business. That's very motivating. If you're not doing it, you need to. Make sure you get excited about the new business that comes in too.
Did she say we're paying for new business?
Pay a higher commission on
Okay,
their
higher
business.
commission.
That is creepy.
Well, I couldn't get her video. Now, I did offend her at NAB because she was sitting in the audience and I couldn't get her video, so I did the lip thing. I thought it was funny. She was upset.
Yeah, let's put him on.
So-
Creepy.
So if you run into her,
So we cannot tell her we saw the video, right?
so, pay me more for new business. And historically, and I know we have individual jockeying that we do in terms of commission. But historically, if you pay higher commission on the things you want sold, they get sold.
Yep.
We're talking about some radio scenarios. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but that's going to motivate folks. But I think more importantly than the pay, that's easy to fix, right? Get excited about the new business.
Mhm.
Bam, 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 bam. Thank you. Not only for the new business, but for the effort.
Yeah.
For the effort. Against all odds, you killed it. Way to go. Way to go. 50,000 last year, 50,000 this year. 51,000? Okay, a little bit up. So, those are the three. Did you sense some similarities there? They all, at every given level, they all wanted some love. We're in a business where 70% of your sellers are socializers. Socializers like fun, they like music, they like food, they like attention. Most also like attention publicly. I love what you do in sales meetings when you point out, hey Craig, tell us about that. I love that. Believe it or not, there's some folks who don't like that.
Mhm.
So we got to be careful with those personalities. We may think we're doing well. We got to be careful, right? Handwritten notes go a long way because nobody writes a handwritten note anymore, ever. It's an email thank you, it's an email whatever. So I'm a big believer in the written. And when you write it, do it in blue ink. Blue is calming. You sign your contracts in black, but blue is calming when you're trying to be sincere. Okay. Let me go. Let me do what I know that I need to do because I'm probably going to be more aggressive than you want me to be. Get out of my way. But let me know that my family is important to me, that you love me, because I'm gonna stand in front of a bus for you. Let me know that the effort is appreciated, and if you got something you want sold, put a higher premium on it.
Mhm.
Easy, right? That's consistently over 8 years, a lot of the top 25 markets. Doesn't matter if you're NBC O&O, doesn't matter if you're CW Tribune, doesn't matter if you're whatever. This was consistently across the board what account executives wanted from us.
I think it's interesting from the two, the first one,
Bill and Sue.
obviously they're very senior. And those folks tend to be more, they don't need a manager per se, they need somebody that is a sounding board, somebody
Yes.
that can kind of ideate with them and push them in the right direction. But
An advisor, arbitrator.
Exactly, they don't need somebody kind of on it with that. But the other interesting part is, a lot of what you said to me that jumps out is it's intrinsic value versus extrinsic. And intrinsic is free. So meaning like, we don't have to give them a spiff, we don't have to give them money it's like an attaboy, atta-girl note, recognition, taking time, those things that are very valuable to a lot of people, but they cost us nothing, you know. Which sometimes we laugh, right? We're like, man, these guys, they must have a lot of money. They don't really respond, some of them, to like money. They rather have like a gold star. I mean, everybody likes money, but it's not like a.
Yeah, but to your point, very astute statement, because the intrinsic value in today's world of consolidation and hard driving, the intrinsic value holds more value than cash value. Following?
Well, they've done several studies that show that money is a motivator in terms of if you don't believe you're being paid adequately, it's a huge demotivator. But if you do believe you're being paid adequately and you get an increase, it is a motivator, but temporarily. And that what really keeps you motivated long term are things like, hey, my manager genuinely cares about me as an individual. They're in my side of the court. They will go to bat for me if I need them to.
And the recognition within their peer group.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, but then you have to be consistent and you have to be genuine.
Genuine is the key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Genuine is the key. Just as quickly as a client consents when someone is selling out of fear,
Right.
the seller's consents that it's insincere.
Yeah.
It's insincere.
100%.
And to be fair, sometimes relationships get sideways through no fault of anybody, other than just misjudgment and mistiming.
Right.
And in those instances, what I advise or what I like to promote is a reset. You know what, Mike? It just appears to me I'm stumbling here. I just want to be totally full disclosure. I failed you. I can feel it. Maybe you can feel it. I just want to reset to ground zero right here. Can we let bygones be bygones and we start fresh right now? Easiest way to get through.
It is interesting. I think, honestly speaking, we do a really good job of this, of going beyond surface level, which we talk about all the time with our people. And it's great because it exposes you a lot because you actually are in their lives, you care about their goals, you care about what's driving them. But you also have a connectivity too, that you have to kind of wall off sometimes, right? When there's tough decisions that need to be made. But I think ultimately it's the right way to be. And I think, it helps us to keep people here. I mean, so many people here over the course of, even before I got
Many
here,
years.
I asked them so many times, like, man, why would you stay through all the stuff that you went through? It's the culture, it's the people, it's the little things that we can do to kind of make this environment different than any place else that there'll be. I feel like that
Makes a big difference.
I do. When it's down to the wire like that, I think that makes a difference.
Absolutely. I would look in this scenario, if you look general market, most of the companies I spoke with, look, this wasn't a money move for me, by the way. This was all selfishly. I think I got something to offer. I want to offer it in a big scale, and I want to have impact on a company, right? This is purely has zero to do with money. Would I do this for free? On camera, I'd say no. It wasn't about the money. In fact, I probably screwed myself not negotiating what I wanted to do. I went a different way. When I look at this organization being Univision versus, let's say, the general markets, they always say people are important, but in those organizations, people would land about third or fourth. And I would put people somewhere between 1.1 to 2 in this organization, truly. And it's really flipped me out, given how, I don't want to mention the company names next door, where people may be like 12, right? But then they realize they went awry, so they donate $100,000 to tornado victims. Look how good we are now, right? $100,000 on billions is nothing. So to your point, that it is, and it continues to generate and it continues to populate itself. And if we continue to walk that talk inside these walls, I just said to Marty this morning, Marty, if you felt good, please, all I ask you to do is pass along. Don't pass along that I came in to say hello and I'm giving you love. Give somebody else the love.
Pay it forward.
Yeah. So, all right. So what do we get out of engagement? That's really where we're headed in that riff, if you will. Engagement equals trust, right? I walked in the door October 7th. A lot of people didn't trust me. I get it. I understand. Who is this guy? What happened to our guy? What's going on? It's taking a little while to get trust. But if you sense that you don't have trust with your folks, you gotta strive to get that trust. There's still folks in the building that I don't have full trust in yet. Full trust in or trust with, I should say. It works both ways, right? But I'm trying my hardest to prove, not make them prove, but to prove to them that I'm here for their best chances. So if we can have engagement, which equates to trust, it results in what? What do you think having this results in? You have trust, what does this result in?
Great.
Strong performance.
Yeah.
I guess you have like a foundation.
Yep.
A strong bond that's long lasting too. So it's not short term.
If somebody doesn't trust you and you need them desperately to deliver a number because you're getting pressure, are they going to deliver that number? No, they want you to die. They trust you. They trust you, and you have that trust relationship,
So
that
buy
bond.
in.
There's buy-in. I know. Look, Marty, I know I've come to the well 15 times this quarter, but trust me when I tell you, I need you now. See the word. I need you now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please kick it? Can you please kick it? If she trusts me, she's in. Right? Engagement equals trust equals results. Not resulting, it equals results. And it's not superficial. We have to take, again, a sincere interest in what's going on with everybody. I did this before. Have you had any thoughts since our discussion? Are you worthy of the name manager? A title assigned because we had an opening. More importantly, are you worthy of the name leader? A title given to you by your peers and your reports. You can be a leader without being a manager.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of managers who aren't leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So on a daily basis, the voice in the back of your head should be saying to yourself, are my actions worthy? Am I walking the talk? Am I paying it out? Are my actions worthy? And to be fair, not everybody can be a leader. The Yankees cannot have 9 A-Rods on the field at one time. It's impossible. Because somebody has to surface as a leader. Someone has to surface as, follow me. There's only one quarterback on the offense. Can't have 11 of them. Somebody's got to block. Somebody's got to take the ball. Somebody's got to catch. So not everyone on the team can be leaders, but you can be leaders for your teams. Follow me? In the home stretch, random rants for this year already. Again, in no particular order. A lot of these, I'm guessing you know or you believe in, but they're good to table this time of year. Remember, a 47% advantage to our clients when we're selling digital and. That's gonna slow some of our churn if we can get in the habit of selling digital and. When I say digital and, stuff besides streaming. We're gonna be getting in more products. Homero is gonna be key to that as well. And hopefully be something that we can take on calls and help with that. I don't know that this is not going on. I know it's always something that I always like to look for, and I've not dug too deeply yet. But long-term packaging. And here's what I mean by that. There are many opportunities I think we're overstepping. I just had this conversation with Don this morning on radio. So if we have sponsors in soccer on TV, have we thought about cross-sponsoring them for $50 a commercial with the exact same games that we're running on radio? So it's a $50 up on top of TV, and now they're getting they're roadblocking getting 2 areas. Have we thought if we're selling them soccer, why are we not selling them other sports? Give them a full sports package. Have we thought in terms of length? When we sat with the Port Authority and we sat with Houston Sports, my thinking as I'm sitting there is, okay, if we backdoor this and we become the official Hispanic language sponsor of these folks, partner, if you will, that's going to put the other stations in the market on notice. I need to have at least 1.5 years to 2 years of relationship to make sure that we slow anybody else down. And we got to get them thinking, because the numbers that we should be asking for are massive. we should be talking massive numbers in those instances. And that's where I say copious amounts of money. We've got to be aggressive. I want your folks and you to be so surprised with the number and then add another $50,000 on top of it, and that's your number. Truly. I mean, that's how I built my personal list. That's how I built team lists. It was all a case of, okay, 70,000 looks great, Mike. Go and ask for 180. The out always with your sellers is they're afraid I can't do this because they're going to upset the client. They told me $100,000. You want me to ask for 180? Yes. I want you to demand 180,000. What if they get upset? They're going to get upset, but you can always say to them, Mike, I recognize you said 100,000. What I'm showing you is ultimately where we're going to be very quickly as we establish success together. This is where we need to go. I heard you.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting a vision down for you, right? Be open to new ways. This is going to be real important for your folks and for us. Jim Doyle and Associates partnership here cannot fail. Let me repeat that. Cannot fail. Why? Because I'm standing here. And while I've not heard it from anybody, I'm certain in Miami they're saying, well, gee, we got the president, Jim Doyle and Associates, the guy who wrote 80% of the content. How can it fail in Houston? So the expectations are huge here. I have every expectation with Jim Doyle and Associates. Once we get the training under our belt, we start to have our revenue initiatives and we have our client sessions. I have every expectation we're going to be way over $1 million, way over $1 million, if not two, in this marketplace. And I'll start getting active in terms of how we position ourselves and what people are asking for and what people we should have at the table. But we got to get through the teaching this week.
What is the reference point for $1 million? Are you talking about when they come into the market and they make the official calls with the account executives? What does that $1 million reference?
So there are a couple of dollar measurements there. Number one, when they are in market, we're going to get a few closes. We're not going to close them all.
Okay.
The next 2 to 4 weeks, next 2 weeks especially, but 4 weeks long term, are paramount to be on top of these clients and pushing for the yeses after the senior marketing consultant has left. The shine begins to wear off the penny with each passing week, and ultimately we've got to repitch.
Right.
But if they don't give us a yes and don't close at the table, now we got to give them a reason to keep pushing the next 2 weeks.
Right.
So that money still counts. Beyond that, long term, when this becomes a process and the account executives are empowered to do the whole process by themselves, that's when we should realize a third tier of dollars that come rolling in. So we should, again, see way over $1 million through those 3 moves this year, very quickly. We should realize that very quickly. I've handpicked the stars that are coming in between Pat Norris, who's an automotive expert, and Jim Stews, who is just a phenomenal soft touch and a great tactician, which everyone will learn from. So we've got all the best people coming in, and we got me here, so I know how it works. And you'll notice when we have this week a lot of folks in the room, Dallas, San Antonio, us. We have Felipe, we have Bob Getz, we have Mike Kelly coming in, we have some bounce people coming in. I've opened it up, the floodgates, as best as we could because, again, it's Houston, Univision, nationwide. And so we're setting ourselves up for all eyes and big success, quite honestly. Okay? So that's what I mean. We got to be open to new ways. And this is going to be foreign to a lot of senior folks.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so some senior folks are going to waste time pencil whipping trying to get this done. Can't let that happen, okay? Someone alluded to at the beginning of the meeting, and I've already lost who it was that said something about uncomfortable. Every single day, do something uncomfortable. I push myself every day to do something uncomfortable. You know why? Because 4 to 6 times of doing that same thing that's uncomfortable,
Makes it comfortable.
suddenly becomes normal. And your bar is raised.
Break that comfort zone.
Right. It's a stretch, right? So every day, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become, and ultimately it's in the past and you've raised the bar. So every day something uncomfortable. Panic mode. I displayed a little bit of panic mode via email about the Bloomberg stuff. I have some insider intel about Bloomberg and the $4 million that came in this market, and we didn't get $1. There's a rhyme and reason that went out. But that's an example of how to use panic mode to your advantage. There are going to be make good opportunities in this marketplace. There are going to be rates. They're going to be just absolutely crazy. All the clients are going to believe that you can't get on, you can't do anything in this market because everybody's tied up. Or they're hearing it from other people, they're not hearing it from us, right? We'll make room. We have Unimas, we have our TV station, we have essentially 5 radio stations, we have digital products, we have opportunity galore that will still accommodate these. It will be the cheapest ever, no. But we need to work and look at that timing, keep our folks calm as they're getting preemptions and help them understand their alternatives. The best of the best of the best of 2020 are going to be able to deal and capitalize with this panic mode. That's that perception versus reality. Everybody right now is saying, oh, it's going to be too expensive. That's perception. It's not reality. Get in the boat with your sellers. If anybody's a sports fan, and PJ Fleck coaches at Minnesota, I love that dude. I love him when he got in there. It's row the boat. Everybody's in the boat, right? Let's all row. So when I say get in the boat with your sellers, let them know and let them understand that they aren't alone. Let the national reps know that they aren't alone. I'm in this boat with them. It's not going down, right? I'm here. I'll take it over. Let me row a little bit now. Let them understand you're with them, and the way you're going to do that is physically and mentally. Physically, you're going to be in the car. You're going to be on the street. You're going to be out there pressing palms and pressing flesh, right? And mentally, you're going to recall those moments. And you're going to help them understand that, yeah, they were there for me. So they didn't lose alone. And to that end, we're going to let them feel like they won alone. I hate advanced gifting. And this is the year for it. Well, can you just help me here, and then when it's fourth quarter, when it's tied, I'll remember you, and no. And all the clients are pushing me. Can you give me just a little extra here, because I can't get, no, find somebody else in the market to do that. It aggravates the daylights out of me. So what happens is we give in, and we give them a little something, right? We give them a favor, and then down the road, we're upset and we're aggravated because they aren't returning the favor. So what is the way to avoid being upset and being sad because they didn't return the favor?
Quid pro quo, answer something in return. They answer
Get something. Yeah.
Or don't give them something. It's okay to say no.
Make them say no,
Give
just
me
like
this.
Ree just said, the quid pro. And if they say no, then they said no. You didn't.
Right.
When I was a punk AE, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Let me give you a phone number you can call, and they'll be able to help you. And it was the Fox 263-4500, the Fox TV station number. I don't remember 263-4500 because I said it 100 times. Well, I'm not in a position to help you right now, but if you want to call the Fox station, here's their number, and they can 263-4500. Differentiate. So we talked about it with the President's Club. We talked about it with the multimedia, right? So what are the opportunities to help us differentiate? We differentiate by people, but you don't know that till you get in here and you feel the love, right? So what are we going to do to continue to differentiate through the course of the year? We're going to differentiate So look for opportunities to differentiate. We're going to get some branding established. We are going to differentiate. You're already starting to see that on air and some cross promotion we're doing. We're going to get deeper in that. We're going to have some sit downs and just so everybody is on the same page. Ruth is going to handle promotional insertion for TV. Our expert professional in here, Nestor, is going to handle all promotional inserts for radio. It's entirely too much for one person. Plus, we're going to segment so they're handling. We're getting 100% of both sides. Woo! This year, more than any year. Demand, no. Accept, nothing less. And professionally hold accountable. You got to get the absolute best. Absolute best. If it's anything than absolute best, that's an embarrassment. Right? Let's go back to buyers. When a buyer would say, well, Fox has given it to me for this. And I said, is that right? Did they take that order last quarter? Yeah. How'd they feel when they took the order? What do you mean? Because if I took an order like that, I'd get fired if I took it back to my manager. That wasn't the best, right? What is the best? What is the best that we can do? And if we've given our best and we've done our best and we still lose, we have no shame.
That's right.
There's no shame in missing it if we did our absolute best. So demand that of yourself, and as a result, demand that of those around you. You got to commit yourself to goal success. We got to commit ourselves to teaching. We got to commit ourselves. You know, I'm doing a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings. I have to remind myself. I saw Mark Maceball, probably he has all the free time in the world apparently, because I'm watching him on social media going, geez, where's he, how many hours a day does he have? And I saw he just read a book.
He doesn't sleep.
He read a book and he said, this book is fabulous. I'm going, I got to read a book? Really? I don't have time to read a book. What do you mean read a book? But I got to commit to remind myself and see things like that because I don't want him to beat me. So I have got to read that damn book and 6 other ones before I get to Miami next week. I'm going to say, did you read The Authority? Yeah, I read The Authority book and I read this one, this one, this one. All right. Bridge win-win between clients and sellers. Right early on, we talked about bridging on a local level. An attorney with a chiropractor, because when you're in a car wreck, God forbid, what do you need? A tow truck, a chiropractor, and an attorney. So you put chiropractors and attorneys together, you're the conduit between, you're building the bridge, right? Look for those opportunities to build win-wins with clients. At the same time, look for those opportunities to build win-wins with your sellers. Some of those will naturally grow if we're smart about things and we add this teaching training and we put AEs on opposite sides of the fence together. They will naturally gravitate and begin to grow their wins, their bridges, if you will. But look for those opportunities on both sides. It makes life a lot easier. You got to be bigger than your title this year, right? And I'd like to think by now in our conversation you understand that being bigger than your title is stop being a manager. Be a leader. Be a leader. All right. So happy New Year in 2020. I'll close on this. Can't spell challenge without change. And if your expectation is you're going to win in 2020 without changing anything, you're setting yourself up for a loss. Failure to plan is planning to fail. You gotta have a plan, you gotta work the plan, you gotta adjust the plan. You can't be afraid of the changes, force of change is coming at you. Be ahead of it. Be a professional and handle it. Cool?
Absolutely.
And that, stars, is it at 1:28. Look at that. I'll let you half hour talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, actually,